Hey man, did you know that cheese is actually like a mineral and they have to mine it? No, why are your pants on fire?
Alright, it's November 18th, and I'm not gooning to either Haley Sky or Spice until I get a girlfriend. The temptation and intrusive thoughts to yoink on my boinker is getting to me. Any updates on you guys though? I'm pretty sure like 80% of you guys that are watching has failed, and I don't think I got the will to keep going right now. As shitty and low things has been lately, I'm just laying in bed all day listening to unreleased Juice WRLD songs. I get them urges at times, and goosebumps, but in the words of Kid Cudi, he told me to not be so down, young homie. You'll be okay, you'll find real love. And then there's Cindy Sweeney all over my feed. So the solution to all of this is put my phone down, and that should be easy, right? And also, I have bad news. My Haley Sky waifu pillow is no longer with me. Apparently, she's chatting with the Gooners in the Discord server, and this might be enough internet for you for today, once you're about to hear what I'm about to say. Okay, so my semen took consciousness within my waifu pillow, and was capable to come alive and leave me. My own children, they left me like everyone else. I thought the pillow would be pregnant at least, not walk away. Anyways, I think I got a good story to tell you guys. It's about the time I almost got with a coworker back in my Kroger days, and this was back in August of 2021. It's not the floral redhead girl I talked about in my last story. This is another person. But first, let me feature some of you fellas. Here's a happy birthday to Ike Resendez. Yeah, I'm trying to heal, but I hope you had a great birthday yesterday. And the gamer, your friend's punishment is that he must go to whatever has a claw machine in there, and he has to keep playing until he wins and get a stuffed animal out, or until he runs out of funds. Guns 2.0. You must have an awkward conversation to a cashier when you're shopping, and the topic is mentioning No Nut November, and you must go on even if they're not interested in the conversation. And you can walk away once you feel embarrassed or they tell you to have a good day. The femboy villain arc is gonna go crazy. Also, if you fail No Nut November, then you have to get a femboy body pillow or figurine. Hope you can heal, Booker. Bruh, I don't know any femboy stuff. But the safest bet is to get a figurine so it's easier to hide it, not gonna lie. The figurine's nice to have because it's easier to dispose the body so no one will ever find its remains. Sorry, wait, what? I'm just gonna bury it in my backyard. Booker, I'm going through a phase where I'm suddenly feel left from my life. And my friends, they barely talk to me ever since high school started this year. Now I feel lonely, I don't have anyone else to talk to. I text them but they leave me on red, and every time I'm on, I see them online. I text them but they ignore me. Now I don't know what to do, now I just feel empty. I wouldn't consider them as friends then. They'll hit you up when they feel shitty or bored, using you for their convenience. I drop them because I experienced that shit. I've gone through the majority of my high school alone. I try to make and get involved with new friend groups, but I just don't match their vibe. Yet again, it was a pretty small high school. What kept me from feeling all alone in high school is curricular activities. I did cross country and track, got involved, and that's when I socialized and made friends the most. Matter of fact, that's where I met Chase. And Chase and I have nothing in common, besides being at the same skill in terms of running back in 2018. So that's probably the safest bet if you want to make friends. Don't change for people, but rather find those who seek the same interests. Get involved with after-school activities. Try getting yourself in land club, if your school has that. That's the best way to make friends in high school in my opinion. Chess club perhaps? I don't know, there's always groups and activities going on after high school, and that's the best way to find friends. And that's if your classmates as a whole are not boring. But as of right now, being alone, reflect on what you want to change and make a difference on. Unless you're introverted like me, it's gonna be hard. Because no one wants to hang around a quiet person. That's why people stop fucking with me. Booker, the day went well, and we are actually pretty compatible. In parentheses, she said that, not me. Even though I'm chopped, I pulled a 10 out of 10 Latina, so all you gooners can too. I believe in all of this community. Hey, I'm happy to hear that, Lebanon. I don't know what you did to pull a 10 out of 10 Latina, but goddamn, that's an achievement to put on your belt. You're the man, my good sir. That's what I like to fucking hear. Yeah, good shit. Alright, story time. It's been a hot minute. I like saving these personal stories because I need to get into the right mindset before telling these. Also, I might switch the gameplay up to Roblox here because Fortnite is not hitting me lately. So hope you guys love watching me quickscoping kids on a kids game full of trash ass kids on a Tuesday morning where I don't even know if I'm playing against kids because those fuckers needs to go to school. Or I'm playing with grown ass men who doesn't work first shift or unemployed. And you might say, what the fuck, Booker? Why are you playing Roblox on a Tuesday morning? Don't you have a job? I do, bitch. Just not today, don't worry. So yeah, story time. As I said, I almost got with a coworker back near the fall of 2021, and this is months after the floral redhead girl who I mentioned in the past video. So, my manager told me there's a new coworker scheduled to work with us. They just finished orientation. I was like, bet. And he said she's my age. And I was like, huh? I'm a little starstruck because there's hardly people my age that works in this department, specifically where I'm in. So this college girl walks in, mask on very tight. This is during the pandemic era where we all had to wear masks. And she's not a blonde, but brunette actually. Crazy, am I right? So my manager was showing her her around and training her for a good while that day until he noticed that he has to go to a meeting, and so he just left her hanging. Almost an hour has passed and I was like, yo, where did the manager go? And she shrugged and looked very timid. So I took initiative and basically helped her with what the manager has to do to show her. And that's when we started to become friends. As I was training her, I was making jokes and making fun of the things we have to do, the customers, giving her advices on the coworkers and departments. And I ended up working 2 hours past my shift to train her, and we had a very good talk about a lot of things that same day. The next day rolls around and my manager insisted I still train her, and she looked very happy to see and talk to me about college and all sorts of dumb shit. I made a fuck ton of Fortnite and Minecraft references to see if she plays games and catch on the hints, and that's how I found out she doesn't play video games, because she didn't get any of those jokes. That's an advice to know if a girl plays video games. Just make a bunch of video game references and see if she catches on. Anyways, in my manager's words, I'm making the job fun for her and she's getting it, so he applauded me. And he insisted that me and this college girl had to go on break, and so we did. I usually go in my car rather than the break room to socialize with other college students, and she as well would rather do the same. So we both walked to our cars, and she watched me get in my car. And after we got back from break, she said I have a really nice car and would like to ride in it one day. And I said, fuck yeah. And as I'm training and explaining things to her throughout the day, I started to notice she can't keep direct eye contact from me. I'm starting to notice in the corner of my eye of how much she looks at me, but when I turn to look at her, she looks away so fast, almost like she's shy. I don't know about you, but that's some type of psychology shit when someone is interested, I think. I don't know, she's looking at me different now. So as the shift ended within our second day, I took initiative to get her Snapchat and we build upon from there. And we text very little within the time span of knowing her, and I'll explain why shortly, but let's just say as co-workers, I was keeping it professional, and I was also trying to be a very nice guy back when I was 19. 2 months go by and college is picking up, and we're both now part-time working 20 hours a week, scheduled differently. And one day, another co-worker in my department was telling me about her problems, saying how her boyfriend of 2 years cheated on her twice and treats her like shit ever since college started. She's constantly depressed, and I was like, what? So in my mind, I was thinking like, damn, I didn't know she got a man's. And I was also thinking to myself like, so was she looking at me as a friend then this entire time? So I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to ask if she's okay, because for all she knows, I don't know what's going on with her. It's none of my business. And my coworker told me, because that's how it is at work, everyone likes to gossip about one another, telling people's problems to other people. So I waited for next time until we get scheduled together, and it wasn't gonna happen. After a good week or so of hearing what's going on with her, my manager asked and said, hey Artie, do you want to take this shift because we're becoming more short-staffed again? And I said, why, what's up? And he said that college girl put in her 2 weeks notice. Dude, I don't know. I felt that sinking feeling in my chest. I was like, shit, I might not see her again. So I texted her how are things and what's her plans, and we started to keep up to date. Texted a lot frequently. I wanted to confront her about her relationship status and how she deserves better than this douchebag she's currently with. But it's none of my business, and she never told me about it. She never mentioned it to me. And I wasn't sure if I was her backup in case this guy dumps her or some shit. But this was back when I was 19. I was willing to wait for that moment. Me now, I wouldn't fuck with it one bit. I don't got that patience anymore. Nor I want to be used like that. I don't want to be someone's backup. So on her last day at work, I asked my manager if I can be scheduled with her because I want to say goodbye in person. He let it happen in my favor. W manager. So on her last day, I was talking to her a lot, trying to make the most of it before she leaves. And looking back at it now, I think she was ready to get the fuck out and basically leave me behind too. She wasn't talkative with me like she was, always saying the word yeah, and doesn't even laugh to the things I say. And I was trying to pretend that I don't know she's in a somewhat stable relationship. So her shift finally ended, and as she's walking out, I walked up to her, and I said it was nice working with you, and she just said yeah and walked out. That got to me. Like, why was she acting really into me and happy to see me, to not giving a fuck about me after nearly a whole month of not working together? Weeks go by, and I couldn't help but message about how I feel about her, and she told me why it would never work out. She said she finds me very intimidating and was afraid of me. Told me if I just smiled more, it would make a difference. And this one thing you guys gotta know about me is that I have a very bad resting bitch face. People takes it the wrong way, and I don't blame them. So I tried justifying myself, and I said, but we're wearing face masks. There's nothing I could have done differently. And she just replied with, yeah, sorry. And I left her at that. It was bothering me that back when I was training her and the vibes were right, it would have worked out. But I genuinely think I was the next guy to replace in case her current boyfriend leaves her. And I felt worse that I kept pushing to get with her, knowing she's in a relationship this entire time. But to her knowledge, I don't know that. She never told me. So I unadded her. A year goes by and we're in the fall of 2022, months after my breakup with a 7 out of 10 blonde girl. And I saw that college girl again. We were crossing paths in the hallway in college, getting to our classes. I took a different path to my class ass ever since I saw her, but that moment when I saw her, she waved at me. I just ignored her and kept walking forward. I was already in the process of healing back in 2022, and seeing that college girl wasn't gonna make things better. So there you have it, another failed relationship that could have been something. I wasn't in the right, nor was I in the wrong. Thank you for listening to my story. So this has been Booker, baking a bread cat.